Okay, so now that we have everything in our palette, it is time to learn to hack. So highlight and contour. I am gonna be using these two brushes. This is the detail brush. It's a little bit flat on that one end, has two straight lines, a smaller end. This one is the bronzer. This is the bronzer and the fluffy end, and the blush brush. And these are the brushes that I would use day to day. If I did a color match for you, I likely recommended them if you were able to invest in two brushes right off the get-go. So the first thing we're gonna start with is our contour. Now contour creates shadows to give us dimension to our face. So we're going to put it on our cheek. We're gonna find where our cheekbone is, feel right under there. You can use something, lay it, it's right there. And I'm going to apply this just above there. Our natural hollow, our natural shadow is right here, but by putting it a little bit higher, it's gonna give us a bit of a facelift. So I am just gonna stamp it on and I'm gonna stop at the outer corner of my eye. Okay, nothing crazy. We're just gonna leave it like that. We'll blend when we're done. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Just tap it on, just like that. It's cream, so the longer you let it sit on your face, the more easy it is to blend. Okay, so then I'm gonna go straight into my contour. And for your forehead, a good rule of thumb is to put your fingers together at the middle of your eyes. Anything behind there can be contoured. So when we contour our forehead, the farther down we come, and then farther down we give a little bit of that dark shadowy color to, the smaller it's gonna make our forehead look. So if you have a really short forehead, maybe skip the contour. If you have a really tall or long forehead and you wanna minimize the appearance, then bring it down a little bit farther. This is just a general rule. You can play around with it. And as you can see, I am just kind of liberally applying here. And I'm just gonna put it on like that. Again, we're gonna go back and blend it. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. We're gonna blend it back into that hairline, just like that. So the next place that we can contour is that jawline. So again, when we put an ashy dark color, if we have some jowls or the old light bulb right here, we're gonna just put a little bit of this dark contour on. So where it starts here, start it there and bring it back. We're gonna use this to camouflage those areas so it gives the appearance of a more chiseled jawline. Okay, and lastly, if you wanna contour your nose, super simple, you don't have to do this, but it is fun. We're gonna dab in on the side of that brush and then make two lines. This brush is also probably the easiest for contouring your nose. Two small lines right on the top of our nose. The closer together they are, the smaller our nose is going to appear. And you guys, as you can see, this does not have to be perfect, but at the end, you'll see the results are perfect once it's blended. Okay, so we're gonna go into our brightener. I am gonna put that on the inner corner of my eye, the outer corner of my eye, but going upwards like this. If you have like no wrinkles under your eyes or no fine lines, feel free to put this farther down. But just remember, anytime we use a light color, it's going to accentuate fine lines and wrinkles. And anytime we use a dark color, it's gonna make that area look recessed or set back, if that makes sense. Okay, and then I'm gonna use it right down the middle of my face. So right between those two lines I made, you can use your finger or you can use your brush. And that's it. So think T for your brightener. So next I'm gonna grab that other brush. This is the bronzer and blush brush. So that's the biggest brush that we have, nice and fluffy. Use the smaller end and I'm gonna dip into my main color. I'm using Athens, but it's out of stock and I'm almost out of it. So I'm scraping by. Good thing you don't need very much of it. So what I'm doing is I'm using kind of a dabbing, blending motion, and I'm just filling in the blanks. So wherever, I'm gonna dip into a little bit of my Sandy here too, because I think my Athens is getting down there. So anywhere that we don't have any other color, just pop it on, and you hardly need any. When you go into your cream, just dab, don't swipe. You don't wanna pick up too much. You'll feel like your face is cakey and you're gonna hate it. And that's one of the biggest things that we need to remember when we're using this makeup is less is more. If you use too much of the product, because we're so used to applying it like we apply our traditional liquid or mostly liquid foundation, powder doesn't really apply, but you're gonna find that it's heavy and you're not gonna like it. So after I put that in all the areas that didn't have any makeup, I'm gonna go back starting with the lightest color, so that brightening highlight, and I'm just gonna blend it out like this, lightly on my nose, just to soften those lines. But I usually like to start with the light area and then we'll work to that contour. So again, just dabbing, softening those lines, using the exact same brush. Now when it comes to our contour on the forehead, we're gonna blend back into our hairline like this. If you have blonde hair like me, just be a little bit careful or you'll be able to see it. And on your cheeks, you blend up because we don't want to drag that shadow down. It's going to make it look like we have a droopy face. So we're just going to blend it up. This is why I like applying with a brush. It's so easy to over blend and pretty much blend out your contour when you use the dot or the finger method. So this way you blend up. It blends so easily, and just stop when you're happy with the amount of definition you have. Okay. So now if you just got the main 4 colors, this step may not apply to you, and that's fine. Just skip it. But I'm going to show you how to put on bronzer, you guys. Okay, you guys, if you didn't get Bella bronzer when you initially got your makeup, add this to your set as soon as you can. I didn't have it when I started, and my goodness, it made all the difference when I actually got Bella bronzer and the blush and bronzer brush, which you save $15 when you buy them together. This is the bronzer side, so it's like the biggest, fluffiest brush, which makes it amazing to apply your bronzer because it puts it on so lightly, but it gives you a beautiful sun-kissed glow. So now when you apply your bronzer, think a C. So a C around your eye. We're applying it anywhere that, say if you were in the sun, you would get a sunburn. Okay, so contour creates a shadow and is more of an ashy tone. Bronzer makes it look like you were in the sun and have a beautiful glow. So think C around your eyes. If I was in the sun, I'd probably get a sunburn on the end of my nose, my chin, they stick out. Skip this whole area. It doesn't usually get too much sun. And then you also use bronzer to bring it down on your neck. And this is how you can add a little color to your neck, because most of us have a much lighter neck than face. Most of us, not everybody. Okay, perfect. I'm not sure if we blended that contour under our chins yet or not, but just do that. You blend it down because you don't want to blend it onto your face. That was just my contour, I forgot. And bronzer on the neck. Okay, so we're looking pretty good, you guys. That is our 3 hat colors and our bronzer. So now back, if you only have the main 4 colors, we're gonna go into our blush. So we have 3 different kinds of blush. Satin, this is nude, it's a satin, is the most pigmented. I like to put it nice and high on my cheeks. If you want more of a lift, put it high, blend it into your temple. If you want a fuller cheek, apply it right, wrong finger, apply it right on the apple of your cheek when you smile. It'll just give you a different look, but there's not a right or wrong way. Okay, and then I'm just blending that out. We have so many beautiful choices. You can also dip your brush right in, but when it's a satin, just be careful you don't dip in too hard, because as you can see, better wipe that off a little bit. They're super pigmented, which is nice because then you hardly use any. Okay, and then we're gonna use that same color as our lipstick. So, you guys, that is it. I threw a cream illuminator in here. Another, if you can have an add-on, put a cream illuminator as soon as you can. So the beautiful thing about this makeup is it gives you a beautiful glow, but if you can add one more thing on to your first 4 or 5 tins, add a cream illuminator. I didn't even know what an illuminator was, but watch what happens when I just put it at the high point of my cheekbone. Sometimes it's hard to see when you're inside, but you get in the light, you get in the sun, and it's gonna give you the most beautiful glow. You guys, that is it. So when I get ready in the morning, I literally start left, put on my contour, flip my brush, put on my brightener, grab my other brush, put on my main highlight color, my bronzer, my blush, using just these 2 brushes. Some days I do some eyeshadow, put on my mascara, and I'm out the door. So less than 5 minutes. I'm a busy mom of 3. I'm a shift worker. I don't have time to fuss. And this makeup is so amazing for making me feel beautiful and confident, and like I'm ready to take on the day. So if you have any questions with your palette, please let me know right away. I'm more than happy to help. I'm always happy to jump on a FaceTime if that will help. And we will get it figured out because it is amazing. There is a bit of a learning curve, but you will get it, I promise. Have a great day and let's talk soon.